Hi, welcome back to my channel. I've been sent by my glorious friend Joe a little package that had some other goodies, but in particular there were these. If you're not familiar with them, these are little pieces of metal that have adhesive on the other side of it that can be used in magnetic pallets. This is going to be our first victim, which is the original Moon Prism Blush palette. Absolutely stunning. Hopefully you can see it has been used and loved. But the plan is, I just want to clean it out, remove stuff, then install bits of like magnetic padding or magnet, I guess, with an adhesive, and you can cut it to fit, and then make magnetic pallets out of emptied packaging. Well, that's at least my idea. Let's see how easy this is. I have thought of ripping out this cardboard part. I can buy like a couple of magnetic pallets or rip off the lid and then just put the actual plastic pan in here. And there we go. The platter is released. Admittedly it looks a little bit rough, but the idea is I want to try and find a magnetic palette that I should be able to. I can just remove the lid and it will fit kind of roughly in this dimension. So it can just be like a clamshell of cardboard that sits over the top. And then I can just disassemble this interior part and then turn the pans into magnetic things. Hopefully you now just enjoy the watching of this sped up portion of me disassembling this part of the palette. The side of this pan cut my thumb. I'm gonna still persevere though. Sweet, okay. We'll just move this out of the way just to make sure I don't hurt anything. Really, apart from this portion here, I think this I did a much better job with. Now the joys of going through this part. So my camera cut out annoyingly, but it's recording now. So these are the 8 shades that I'm going to end up keeping from what I've harvested from these two glorious Lunar Beauty palettes, and I'm going to give these to one of my friends. We're back for some more distraction. It's a new day. Sorry if you can hear my my washing machine going in the background. I'm going to try and remove this pan. Lunar Beauty's Moon Prism powder. This is Mars. Very beautiful shade. It would be nice to be able to put whatever I want inside of it. Enjoy as I maybe struggle bus getting this out. I really don't think that's coming out. She's solid as hell, my gosh. I'm trying to flex it. Nothing moving, nothing creaking. That might just be a no-go, might not be able to remove it. I did try with the Lunar Beauty highlighter, just didn't go. So what I am going to do instead, I want this just out of this packaging. Remove this, have this as a giant magnetic palette and just do whatever I want with it. Thank you, Made by Mitchell. for making such a fun palette. Now it's time for me to take matters into my own hands. This is also why I appreciate what Glaminatrix Cosmetics does. If you get their palettes, they all more recently have all been magnetic based, so you can just go ahead and remove the pans at your leisure. You don't have to be destructive like I am. There we go. Interesting. Whoa, look at that. What is this trippy inside? Oh. Interesting, it's got the ingredients printed on the inside of this. The shimmers tend to be more easily removed from the palette for whatever reason. Continue removing shades from this, and I'll go through and choose which ones I'll end up keeping, which ones I won't. I have a good idea ready from just what I've done and used with this palette before in the past. I'm very happy this one came out with pretty much no cracks. This is one of my favourite colours from the palette. Interesting. This is one of the first mattes that have come out like a shimmer, and I am happy because this is also one of my favourite shades. Are they compatible with this palette? They are not. So, that is fine. Now, we have this glorious beauty here, and as you can see, so many lovely colours. I know I'm going to be taking a lot more from this. I don't need a lot of these browns and such that I've got repetitively throughout the palettes, but some of the more unique shades like the toppers, some of these pastels, considering I know how well they work, those I'll be keeping, but others are just going to be put to the wayside if they survive. Let us harvest. Second platter removed. Stage 2 of this glorious destruction. Peeling back the layers like an onion. Wasn't expecting this. They haven't been damaged, so I'm not complaining. Just going to put them to the side. So this shade, which I'm actually quite happy about. Did purple survive? Yeah, shield G, sick. There we go, I somehow kept this all intact. That's a first. Well, now I've got all of the pans out of Head in the Clouds. I'm just going to clean up these backs, then I'm going to grab the Feet on the Ground shades and we'll see which ones I want to keep. The current kind of rundown of what I'm thinking is going to be the keepers over here. Definitely what I'm unsure about, what I don't care for, purely because I've got things similar in other palettes or what I'm going to keep instead, or it's just I don't really use the shades. Still unsure fully. There's all the shimmers are pretty much definite. Some of these more murky greens as well, some of these cool tones, this purple in particular. I'm just going to slowly figure out, deliberate. Oh my god, that combo right there just looks glorious. Now, boop, it's magnetised compared to a non-magnetic pan. I think I'm going to prioritise putting stickers on the shimmers first. So this is my current layout in the magnetic palette of all the Made by Mitchell pans that I've used. I had 15, I don't know where the 15th has gone, so for now it's 14. If I find the 15th, I'll have to struggle bus figuring out one last shade to at least put in here. Honestly, I'm thinking this tealy shade would go nicely, or even something like that, or even go a little bit brighter, move that to this spot. Not sure. Either way, really happy with what this is looking like so far. The last two things I'm going to play with are these from Deadly Sins. Ultimately, I'm going to go through and destroy every single palette. These two are the first I'm going to go with, as this one I've already attempted removing one shade, and I know that these pans aren't magnetic. Similarly, what I have as an idea and plan for the other palettes I've taken apart is just remove this middle platter, so then I can go through and turn these into little magnetic palettes. This palette, almost every single shade is going to be kept because I quite enjoy pretty much every single shade. This one is going to be the first one. Get the lovely treatment. It's kind of funny how almost every palette is very identical in this regard. Definitely seems to be a thing that shimmers and the adhesive that holds shimmers in the packaging don't tend to be as a solid of an adhesion compared to the mattes, no matter what brand it is. Quickly take this one apart. And lucky last, the red. I'm going to cut here, show you what pans I ended up going through and actually putting the stickers on and putting into the magnetic palette, and then I'll show you the end results of this video with all the pans that have been removed and all that good stuff. So this is the end result of today's glorious destruction. Over here we've got the two Deadly Sins palettes I took apart, Lust and Gluttony. We've got the two blush palettes from Lunar Beauty. We've got the Moon Prism blush palette and the Nude Prism blush palette. That's just these here. And lastly, all of the square pans everywhere are these two Made by Mitchell palettes. We've got the head in the clouds, feet on the ground. Got square pans everywhere. As you can see, I've selected the ones that will go into the actual magnetic placards, and the rest of the pans will eventually get turned into magnetic shades that will go inside of these for myself or for gifting for other people. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. There'll be more videos like this in the future, as I've got more Deadly Sins palettes to go through and all of my palettes in general. Thank you for watching. Love hearts from Tasmania, Australia. Bye bye.